Fresh memory card in the camera. Everything keeps shutting off and I keep trying to record this video. Hey, what's up? Corey Robinson here from CoreyDavid.com. Today we're talking about Fujifilm's newest firmware update, version 1.1 to the X-H1. I'm gonna go over everything that the update covers and also step-by-step instructions on how to put it onto your camera. So if you could care less about what the update entails and you just want it on your camera, go ahead and skip to the very end of the video and I'll give you step-by-step instructions on how you can do that. Okay, so Fujifilm North America announced the update via its Instagram on June 13th, version 1.1 to the body. I'm gonna put a link in the description on how you can get to it, but I'm gonna go over everything that the Fuji website entails about the update. Number one, they've added the addition of focus bracketing. This update will enable the photographer to shoot focus distance bracketing up to 999 frames. When the photographer begins shooting, the focal location, that is hard to say. Focal location is shifted with each activation of the shutter by the step of focus shift from 1 to 10. Super useful if you're doing product photography or any kind of photography that requires you to get different focal distances in your shot, especially if you're shooting at wide apertures. Number two, compatible with the newly developed cinema lens Fujinon MKX 18-55 T2. Upgrade will add compatibility for those two newly developed lenses that only 8 people in the world can afford. Aperture information can be displayed on the monitor. The upgrade allows users to select T-stop or f-stop now, which is useful if you're using cinema lenses that operate in T-stop rather than f-stop. Doesn't apply to me, I own all f-stop aperture lenses. The upgrade allows users to check the focus distance with the distance indicator shown on the monitor. Helpful if you need to get really accurate distances between the camera and the subject. Automatically corrects the distortion and the color brightness shading. Cool. Camera automatically calculate the white balance. I think they meant to say calculates. Camera automatically now calculates the white balance based on the lens position and delivers the color expression with the film simulation modes. Nice. Enlarged and customizable indicators or information. Which one is it? This upgrade will also enable users to customize the location of where the information is shown on the display, which is pretty helpful because I want to move that stuff around all the time. More customization, the better. Good job, Fuji. Enhanced phase detection autofocusing during movie recording. Enables phase detection autofocus at smallest area size when in single point autofocus, making phase detection autofocus active all 6 area sizes, both in autofocus single and autofocus continuous mode. This is like the greatest firmware update of all time. So I was on version 1.0 with my X-H1 and the autofocus during movie recording at any setting was completely unusable. Like I watched hours and hours of YouTube videos trying to figure out if I was missing something. I'm a longtime Fujifilm user, been using it for like 4.5 years, and I could not figure out how to get it to work. And finally, just got super frustrated, looked up the firmware update on June 13th, and it happened to be released on that exact same day. So installed it, and seriously, like magic, it just completely works really, really well now. So thank you, Fuji, good job, you guys are awesome. All right, number 6, enhanced Bluetooth connectivity via Fujifilm Camera Remote app. The upgrade allows users to utilize the following functions with the latest Fujifilm Camera Remote app. Here we go. Number 1, synchronizes date and time and or location info of smartphone tablet devices when used with cameras with Bluetooth capability. So this one's a cool one. When I turned on the X-H1 and was setting it up originally, just paired it with my smartphone and it automatically pulled the date and time. Pretty cool. Number 2, the upgrade allows users to select multiple smartphones or tablet devices by pairing the cameras, and you can have up to 7 devices paired at a time. Number 3, update the firmware of compatible cameras that offer Bluetooth capability via smartphone or tablet devices. Number 4, supports Bluetooth wireless remote control camera shutter release for cameras that offer Bluetooth capability. Finally. Coffee break, hold on. Out. Little side note, you have to update the Fujifilm Camera Remote app on your iOS device or whatever device you're using in order for the Bluetooth functionality to be up to par with the newest firmware update for the camera. Number 7, addition of function button support for image stabilization mode. Yes! The upgrade allows users to set the function button as image stabilization mode for quicker setting changes. This one was buried in a file menu previously, so now it's super nice if you are moving your camera from a gimbal to, or even handheld to a tripod. Be sure to flip off image stabilization or IBIS when you put it on the tripod, or you're gonna get micro jitters, or if you're panning left and right, the IBIS will try and keep it in one spot and then it'll jerk and go to the left or right after you've panned. And lastly, new functions are added to the store and read of camera settings by Fujifilm X-Acquire. Strange way of saying that. So once connecting a camera to a computer via the USB cable, the Fujifilm X-Acquire allows users to back up or restore camera settings to or from a file. That's cool. With Fujifilm X-Acquire version 1.7 or newer. Custom registration/edit settings are also stored and read. That's it. That's what the update entails. Now we're gonna go over how to actually get it onto your camera. Things you will need. You will need an SD card. You will need a computer with Wi-Fi. You will need an SD card reader or some way to get the SD card information to and from your computer. Also, you will need your camera body, obviously, and a fully charged battery according to Fuji. I risk this one sometimes, but I wouldn't do that if I were you. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check the firmware in the body. So to do that, you turn on the camera while holding the display back button, and it will open up into the firmware upgrade screen. Check your firmware. If you are below 1.1, you need to update your firmware, turn off the camera, and then you've got to format the memory card that you will use to insert the firmware onto the camera. Alright, so stick your SD card in the camera, flip it on, and then hit the menu button. And then go down to the little wrench icon, user setup, format, and then format the slot that the card is in. Once that's done, flip the camera off and throw it in your computer. Alright, so click the link in the description. It will take you to this page. Click begin, download, and note there is a little note down there that says check if there's no file within the same destination for the firmware to save. If there is a file with the same name, a browser can automatically change the name of the firmware like name and parentheses 1. A camera cannot recognize the firmware correctly with a change in name like that. This is super important. If you have already previously potentially downloaded the firmware, check your downloads folder first. Make sure that there is not an existing file there with the exact same name, or it will either change the name or completely overwrite it. So you're gonna grab that file, FWU-P0015, and drag it onto your formatted card. Just put it in the root directory, like that, and then eject your SD card. Okay, now that we got the firmware loaded onto the SD card, we're gonna throw it into the camera, flip it on while holding the display back button, and it will show you the firmware version. It should be on the low one. I've already upgraded in this example, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm already at 1.1, but hit OK, and it will tell you to not turn off the camera or take a lens off or anything like that. Don't open the battery cover, just let it do its thing. It takes about 1.5 minutes to upgrade. It'll say something like upgrade complete, and then you flip the camera off. Once that's done, check to make sure that the firmware upgrade was completed successfully by turning on the camera again while holding the display back button, and then it should say version 1.1 for the body. If it does, you're good to go. Flip the camera back off, then turn it on once more, and now reformat your memory card, and you are completely updated to version 1.1. You are good to go. Enjoy your new autofocus goodness. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as always, we will see you in the next video. Peace.